Hey everybody, welcome back to the Huddle, the Review.com's weekly high school football show. I'm Alliance Review Executive Editor Rob Toder, joined as always by Sports Editor Mike Brown, the guru of high school football in Stark County. And today we're going to take a look at games in Week 6 and a couple matchups that kind of are intriguing. And the one that we're looking at first, Mike, is West Branch at Minerva. West Branch coming off a big win over previously unbeaten Carrollton on the road. They got to go back on the road to face a pretty good Carrollton football team.
Yeah, and these are two teams that each have a premier athlete. Jake Riley for Minerva, a great running game that he has, and Brendan Wells for West Branch, who came back 2 weeks ago, has already had a big impact in the two Warrior wins. So that's going to be a great game of two marquee individual players with some good teams that are coming around there.
Always turnovers and mistakes. Whoever can eliminate those the most plays a big role in this game. Any keys to this game, you think? I mean, who can establish a running game, I guess?
Well, probably. And what style wins out? You know, Minerva, they can run it with Riley, but they can throw it too. West Branch is predominantly a running team. They can throw it a little bit, but West Branch, they have to be successful on the ground to have success, I think. Yeah,
definitely. The other game we're looking at, Carrollton and Marlington. We talked about Carrollton coming off that home loss to West Branch. That's their first loss, and the schedule gets remarkably tougher when going on the road to face a really good Marlington team that just seems to be hitting their stride.
They sure are. I mean, like I said, I've said it before, Marlington just looks like the best team in the area. They're going to be, I think they're going to be a quality playoff team with staying power 5 weeks down the road. But for now, I see them rolling to a 10-0 season. I just don't see anybody who's going to have a chance to beat them. I just think they're that good of a football team. You know, the good Ed Miley defense, tilt the field, you know, along with a passing game, just enough of a passing game to offset the great running game with DeMonte Thomas. Like I said before, I think they've got the whole package.
Well, let's put your coaching hat on. How do you beat a Marlington team? What's the game plan for anybody?
I think, for one thing, you'd have to keep it a low-scoring game, which is tough to do against DeMonte Thomas because he's so explosive. They're going to score points. I think you have to keep it a low-scoring game and just hang around and have a shot at the end. But, you know, Marlington, in two of its bigger wins this year, has done that, just taken that opposite approach where they've hung around for a while against Poland, and they got the job done in the last few minutes of the game. And usually that's the mark of a good football team. They find a way, depending on what adversity they face, to get the job done.
Yeah, I guess short of getting John Simon back from Ohio State and having him just key on DeMonte Thomas and everybody else take their chances with the other 10 guys, there's not a whole lot you can do because if you got to key so many guys on Thomas, and that opens up that rest of that game for the field for the rest of the players.
Absolutely, there's no doubt he's the MVP in this league.
Yeah. Alliance at Louisville. Alliance so close last week to getting that first win and came up just short against Canton South at home. And now they got to go to Louisville. It's always been a tough place to play. Louisville's always a very good football team. What's the psyche of the Aviators this week?
Well, I think that's the key. Mike Schott's got to get them back up after a heartbreaking loss. I mean, Alliance was up by 2 possessions, 2 scores in that game last week and got clipped at the end against South. South is not a bad football team. That's the South football team that's won some games this year, and they're going to win some more football games. But I think Mike's biggest challenge this week is getting those kids back up, getting ready for Louisville. You know, it's tough enough to play at Louisville in any year, but coming off a tough loss, He's got to find something with those kids, find a rallying point to go over there and get the job done.
Yeah, a young team in Alliance, and they definitely got the talent. It's just starting to believe they can win, I guess.
Absolutely.
Sebring, another team that's looking for their first win. Some shades of improvement there. They got 3 touchdowns against Columbiana in that game, and they go to Wellsville, and that's always a tough trip because it's the trip. It's such a long drive down there. It's probably an hour, hour and a half by bus, and it's just tough to ride for that long and then try to get focused on the game.
Right. Well, like you said, you know, I think Sebring needs to build off scoring 3 touchdowns last week against a good Columbiana team. You know, Bob Spate's teams at Columbiana are always quality teams, but I think Sebring can build on that. You know, again, you're going on the road in the Inter-Tri-County League. That's always tough. But I think this is a game if Sebring plays well, you know, they can hang in the game, and who knows what can happen there.
Yeah. A couple other games in the ITCL. Lisbon is at United. United coming off a tough loss at home to South Range. And Western Reserve goes on the road to Lowville, and that's always a good contest as well. A couple games in the Portage Trail Conference. Waterloo at Woodridge and East Canton at Southeast. Southeast looking pretty good again. they're going to have to probably finish 9-1 to make the playoffs. So
yeah, I think so. They're probably going to have to win out, but they've got some nice quality people back from that playoff team of last year, along with some newcomers who are doing a good job there. So Southeast, yeah, they might have a shot too if they can win out. They're going to be right in that mix in Region 9 to possibly make it back to the playoffs.
And a couple other games we'll keep an eye on for you: Salem at Canton South in the NBC, and an independent game. St. Thomas takes on Barberton as the Knights continue their trek towards a repeat playoff performance. So remind you, also you can pick up Monday's Alliance Review and take part in Pigskin Picks, where you can win some great prizes every week if you have the most correct picks. And hopefully we'll see you at a game this Friday night. A lot of good matchups. Take in a game. It's going to be good weather, and hopefully we'll see you around.